evening, everybody. Good evening. Okay, I am dropping the link in the infamous thread. Or no, not the infamous thread, the other one. Private one. Okay, everybody, good evening. So, it's going to be a little different tonight. Mario's got family in town. He's not available this evening, and I have been busy as a squirrel trying to shit a pineapple. So, one of the things I've been working on this week is trying to do a gifted subscription for one of our viewers in particular. And it's proved difficult. It's not quite set up to do that. So I promised her I'd get it done. I'll figure out a way to get it done for Cindy when I can. Y'all go ahead and say so. Drop some comments in the chat. There's Fish and Golf. Good evening, brother. So I'm going to wait till we've got a few more people in the chat. And I'm going to do it a little different tonight. We're just going to cover some news like we do on a usual weekday morning. And our habit with this show, the Saturday evening show, the 9 o'clock, is to go live at 9. We stay on for a little while on all the other platforms, and then we kick all you freeloaders off and go to the Rumble only, right? The Rumble Premium only. Well, tonight, I'm not going to do that. I'm going to stay with all of you guys that are watching on YouTube and X and Twitch and everywhere else that you guys are watching. And for the first time in a long time, we're back on Facebook. So, Ace, Angry Conservative, I see you there. Rich, brother, I just noticed that they fixed the Facebook linkage. So we're back on Facebook. We have been off Facebook for a while now because this wasn't one of those censorship things where we got thrown off for being assholes or being politically incorrect or, the thing you usually get thrown off Facebook for being white. But we've been off of Facebook because there was some problem with the infrastructure linkage between Rumble Studio and Facebook architecture. I don't know what the problem was, but it appears to have been corrected. So tonight, we are back up on all those channels. I don't see anybody watching on Facebook yet. And there's still some shenanigans on the back end for X, for Twitter, right? So I still can't see the chat from X. The boys say hi. Hi, boys. Emerson and Lincoln, good evening, boys. Good to hear from you. So I'm gonna wait till these numbers pick up a little more. I'm kind of hoping that this thumbnail draws a little bit of attention, because that's what I'm going to do, guys. If you're watching on anything other than Rumble right now, like I said, I'm not going to kick the freeloaders off tonight. Instead, I'm going to try something a little different. If you're freeloading over there on YouTube, on X, on Facebook, on Twitch, wherever you're at, and you're still freeloading over there, I want you to go to Rumble. Do it now. Do it right now. Go over to Rumble. Use the, I believe there's a link in the description for our referral link. In fact, I'm going to pop over to that real quick and double check it. Let me make sure I'm not blowing smoke up your ass. We'll do it crazy. We'll watch, we're going to watch me. Okay, so check it out. There I am gesticulating at you. Y'all go ahead and click that like button right there, just like that. Click the button. And then right here, down here in the description, if you go over to Rumble, right, get off of YouTube, Facebook, Twitch, wherever you're at, freeloading, hop over to Rumble right now. Click on this link right here that says rumble.com, register Brushfire Mind. That's our referral link. Okay? AC says, I take it you have enough hours of everything. I have enough hours of, yes. Yeah, I need to get a couple more hours of total streaming time, AC, but I've blown out the our deep dives our deep dives this month have been extra long, so we blew through the 5 hours required last weekend. So that's why I'm going to stay on all the other platforms tonight. And guys, I'm only going to do about an hour tonight. It's a busy weekend, and there's got a lot of stuff going on. But again, what I really want to see you guys do is get off the freeloading platforms, get off the censorship platforms like CommieTube, right? Get off of YouTube, hop over to Rumble, find the show over there, right? Here, I'm gonna make it easy for you. If you're still watching on anything other than Rumble, here's the link to the show on Rumble in the chat. Just click that link, join us on Rumble, and then roll down to the description and click on the link right here where it says join us on Rumble. You can click that one to buy me a coffee, but I ain't asking you to spend money there tonight. I'm asking you to spend money here tonight. And here's what I'm looking for, guys. I'm gonna start reading some news articles to you. We're gonna talk about some news stuff in just a minute here. I'm gonna keep this tab up, and we'll go back to it in a little bit. After we cover a little bit of news, we'll take a break and go back to it. Sergeant Major says, "You sure you're not going to give away your profit?" I am. I've crunched the numbers, and I'm not going to give it away to everybody. So, for example, Sergeant Major, when I do start giving away free subscriptions, here's what's going to happen. I'm going to give away, depending on how many people are watching, I'm going to give away a handful of free subscriptions, right? One at a time here and there, 5 at a time here and there, and Rumble is going to automatically hand those out. They're going to automatically hand those out randomly to people who are now following this channel but are not yet premium subscribers or Brushfire Mind subscribers. Right? So I'm offering a little bit of charity to the freeloaders, right? And Aaron Olson, that's a great comment. Don't be a product anymore, right? If you're getting something for free, YouTube, Facebook, if you're getting it for free, X, for example, even, right? Like over on X, I pay for X for this show, to build this show and make my profit, right? That's a business expense. Just like giving away these subscriptions is a business expense. If you're freeloading on YouTube and Facebook and the like still, you are the product. Come on over to Rumble, buy that subscription. We've been doing the deep dives, right? We cover the news every day, but on Saturdays, and again, like I said, this is a little different. This Saturday's a little different because Mario has family in town, and it's his brother who's stationed overseas, so they don't get to see each other very often, and they're out partying like the goofy drunken wops they are. God love them. The Romano brothers are painting Florida red. So we'll have Mario back next week, and so in the interim, tonight I'm staying live on all platforms to encourage you guys to leave the freeloader platforms, to leave the censorship platforms. Come over and join us on Rumble, where we can say anything we want. Like I could say the N-word right now, and everybody but Rumble would cut the show off. Right? That's your litmus test today. Right? Which word is more offensive, midget or the N-word? Well, let's see. You can say one of them, right? So there's your litmus test. Aaron says, I was hoping to ask Mario who won Ukraine in their game of Risk. That's a good question. We'll have to ask him the next time he comes on. Okay, I see I see a little more than a dozen people watching on Rumble itself. Like I said, we're going to let this. I want to let those numbers get a little bit higher, but I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to do one sub. Do. That all appears to be in order, except for that. Boom, boom, boom. Oh, got to get the state in there correctly. And well, shit. Angry Conservative got the random subscription. Hey, see, it's random. We're playing subscription roulette. It is absolutely hilarious that you got it. Okay. Well, it's going to be funny when we see it. I'm going to wait till we got some more strangers in the chat. So, guys, the rules are in order to get the free gifted membership to the Brushfire Mind on Rumble, you have to be logged into Rumble. You have to be watching live right now. And you have to have made a comment in the live chat before I give away one of the free subscriptions. Right? Now, I want you guys to hit the share button. Sergeant Major asked Cindy D watching. I haven't seen her make a comment yet, Dad. So we'll keep an eye out for her. Damn, I lost my spot. Oh, so I'm gonna go ahead and pull up this news article now, and we're gonna talk about this a little bit. And when we break 30 on Rumble, then I'll give away another couple of them. No, AC, I didn't see your text yet. Let me look. Oh, you know what, AC? If I let you and I talk offline about that later, and maybe we can use Cash App to sort that out. So I did just read your text, and maybe that's the best way to sort that out. Sound good? Okay. So let's take a look at this article. This is from the Post Millennial. It says boomers disapprove of Trump more than any other demographic, most of whom approve. And here's the poll. It says the spread at 70 years old and up. I wish Mario was here for this one, but I'm a beat on the boomers a little bit. And Sergeant Major, you're okay. See, you're not quite in the you're not quite up there in that spread yet, where people start to lose their mind and really get the TDS. So every demographic is plus a little for Trump, except the 40 to 49. That's me. Apparently, we're tied, approve to disapprove. And yeah, I'm starting with this one, old man. We're going to get to justice for judges in a minute, and how there should be a rope involved. So, but the question asked is, do you approve or disapprove the job Donald Trump is doing as president? And those of the president's own age group issued a resounding no. And we're going to talk about why that is. So, according to this article, it turns out the baby boomers are the ones who hate Trump the most. A new poll out from Real Clear Politics shows that it's the oldest voters who strongly disapprove of Trump. When asked, do you approve or disapprove of the job Donald Trump is doing as a president? Those of the president's own age group issued a resounding no. Well, I want you to take a look and think about what these age groups represent. So, Sergeant Major, I hate to tell stories too much. The old man is not quite 70, right? Dad is not quite 70 years old, and his age group still approves. Now, my Uncle Steve often watches, and he's in that 70 plus group, but he's a rare bird, 70 plus and watching his news on new media, using more modern technology. That's the gap. That's 70 plus. They're still getting basically all their news from CNN, MSNBC, etc. And so what they know about Donald Trump is that his primary objective is to end Social Security, which of course is not true. Right? And now I'm being a little hyperbolic there. They're also being told that tariffs are going to hit them in the wallet, which is unintelligent. That's not how tariffs work. We'll be doing a deep dive on tariffs in the near future, but we've talked about them in great detail on this show in the past. But understand that the basic rules on the way tariffs are going to work, as far as how it affects you guys, the way the tariffs are going to work is essentially the foreign product gets tariffed. Now, the foreign products that get tariffed are those foreign products for which there is an American competitor, right? So if you have a product that is made overseas exclusively, and there is not an American counterpart competitor, like, for example, DJI drones, that's going to be a tough call. That's going to be an interesting one, because there are American manufacturers that make drones, but it's like saying that there's an American manufacturer that makes ballpoint pens, and so the Chinese only made Sharpies, or well, I don't know where Sharpies are made. But anyway, my point being, the American-made drones are not a legitimate competitor to the Chinese-made DJI drones. DJI is the industry standard. So we might see a little wiggle room there. But if you've got a widget that is only produced outside of America and there is no American competitor, then the tariff doesn't hit you. The tariff hits you when you're bringing a foreign product into the United States to compete with an American producer, an American company, who is producing and marketing their product in the U.S. And so the result there is going to be not that those companies are going to raise the prices on their products. They're not going to be able to. I mean, they'll have the ability to, but they won't be able to afford to, right? If you come in with your foreign product and an American can sell their product without having to account for tariffs, then the American product's price does not increase. The foreign product simply cannot continue to compete. It will be forced to compete on brand, on quality, on brand loyalty from customer base, on long-established repeat customers, or it will have to concede the market space to an American competitor whose costs are no longer artificially deflated by the unfair foreign trade practices of foreign companies producing cheap garbage with slave labor. People, and the slave labor thing, people like to think that cheap labor is the primary reason that we've offshored so many jobs. It is not. It is one reason, and it is a big reason. It is a big reason. But there are other reasons, not least of which are because of tariffs globally. Many countries place 100% and 200% tariffs on certain American products, right? Between that the slave wages in places like China and India, right? The extraordinary regulatory burden of operating a business in the United States, the oppressive tax burden of operating a business in the United States. We are not competitive. We are not competitive for businesses globally because of taxes, regulations, foreign trade imbalances, to include foreign trade tariffs and currency manipulation, things like that. If suddenly we've got a president who's going to slash regulations, make it easier to open and operate a business, cut taxes for corporations, right? And I'll get back to that. Cutting taxes for corporations. I'll come right back to that in just a second. And basically creating an atmosphere where your costs are reduced by slashing those regulatory and tax problems, and not making you compete with foreign countries in their foreign countries after you pay the tariffs to export your product from America to a foreign country. It is a big, tangled, nasty web. Now, the corporate taxes. I want to remind you that all the Democrats that kept saying Donald Trump wants to institute a national sales tax, and what they were referring to was his tariff plan. The same Democrats are also the ones screaming, pay their fair share. They need to pay their fair share. We need to increase taxes on corporations. Those evil billionaires. Sergeant Major mentions the weaker dollar also helps our labor and producers. It does. And he and I talked about that earlier today. And that is one that will take a while for me to untangle for you guys, because people tend to hear the term weaker dollar and think that's a bad thing. And that's not exactly correct if you understand it better. I don't know how many of you have have done foreign currency exchange. I used to do foreign currency. I used to day trade foreign currency, but I did it when I was in gunfights, because it was, just that little bit more peak adrenaline rush. you don't know adrenaline junkie until you're day trading stocks and foreign currencies, right before you go out into a gunfight, into a patrol that has a gunfight in it, or day trading at a blackjack table. There's one for you. My blood pressure can't take that shit anymore. I'm on medication for that shit now. And Aaron, you're correct. The weaker dollar is also easier to trade on Forex. So now the corporate taxes. Let me get back to that. So the same people that are trying to tell you that Donald Trump's tariffs are tantamount to a national sales tax, I want to believe, my charitable heart for you. I know many of those of you who know me are laughing to yourselves right now. The most charitable interpretation of that assertion is that they are just financially, fiscally illiterate, that they don't understand what money is. And hey, fair play. Most people don't understand what money is. Most people think that money and currency and wealth are the same thing. In fact, most people think that money, currency, wealth, and property are all completely interchangeable. They are absolutely not. They are excheckable, exchangeable, but almost unrelated individual concepts. Right? So those same guys are screaming, we need to tax the billionaires and we need to raise corporate taxes. What do you think a corporate tax is? What do you think a corporate tax does? Who pays a corporate tax? All, without exception, all taxes are paid by the individual end consumer. Right? The king demands his taxes. And who pays that tax? Well, the local lord, the local sheriff, the local duke. He pays the tax to the king. Wait, where's he get it? Oh, that's right, Sheriff of Nottingham. He goes and raids the villages and sets houses on fire and steals your fucking chickens. It is always the end user that pays the taxes. 100% guaranteed every time without exception. Businesses do not pay taxes. What businesses do is they get coerced by government to collect taxes from you, the end product consumer. And so every dollar you earn as an American is taxed at least 10 times. It's taxed when you earn it. It's taxed when you save it. It's taxed when you spend it. And usually when you're spending it, it's taxed a half a dozen times before you actually get to select the product and pay for it. Okay? So, numbers are falling off a little bit there, guys. I want to see y'all do something real quick. Go ahead and share from Rumble. Take a minute, share the show everywhere. Share it on X, share it on Facebook, share it on Instagram. Share it on TikTok. There's a Brushfire Mind TikTok channel. Share it over there. See what happens. I want to see the Rumble number hit 30, and then I'm going to give away another 5 subscriptions. Okay, guys? Cindy D, I see you there, and I hope you get one of the freebies. I'm giving them away randomly tonight. I was explaining earlier, the back end over here doesn't seem to give me a good mechanism to just straight hand you the subscription the way AC and I wanted to. So we've got a workaround on the back end that we're gonna still get that to you because we promised to get that to you. But now that I have a better idea how that works, and AC, you and I can talk offline about the back end of that a little more. This might be something you want to look at doing too. But basically, the only way I can give away free subscriptions is at random, in lots at random. So as soon as that number hits 30, I'm going to give away another 5. I already gave away 1, and it went to AC, which is hilarious. And for those of you watching at home, I do not recommend that you do this right now. I'll appreciate it if you do, but let me close my camera for a minute. For those watching at home, this is what the live chat looks like, and you can see down here there's a little $sign, and there's a little gift package. The little $sign there is how you send a Rumble rant, and you can pay $1, or you can pay basically whatever you want, and leave a Rumble rant. And what that'll do is that's basically a chat that hey, wait a minute, I want to cancel this. I don't want to do a Rumble rant. Okay. So that's basically, that's like a super chat on YouTube or whatever, where your rant will be pinned up there. And then there's this thing, and if you go on there, you can gift subs, right? You can just give them away. And if you do that, then they'll be randomly distributed to people who are currently watching on Rumble, and only if they've left a chat, if they've made a comment in the chat, right? So, where was I? Okay, so the boomers disapprove because they're in that group where they're still getting all their news from CNN, MSNBC, etc. So that's the majority of the boomers is they're watching trash government cheese news being lied to. And the other thing that's killing them, the other thing that's making it crazy, that's screwing them up, is the Social Security issue. So the boomers are losing their minds right now because the Democrats are telling them Donald Trump's coming after your Medicaid, your Medicare, and your Social Security checks. Okay, I got a couple things that we need to cover about that. For starters, he's not. In no way. He's not doing it. Right? He said it over and over again on the campaign trail. I'm not going to do that. And there's nothing to suggest that he's going to do that anywhere. There hadn't been a bill or an executive order. The closest we've gotten to it is that Elon Musk and Doge have gone in and audited the Social Security Administration, and they found massive amounts of fraud. Massive amounts of fraud. And we've known for a while that was going on. Now, there's another major problem. It's not just fraud. The Social Security account has been raided over and over and over again by Republicans and Democrats, especially Democrats, because they've always got to have their little social program, right? It's hard to buy damn votes if you're not stealing money to buy them with, right? Not complicated. That's pretty easy math. But here's the other thing about Social Security, guys. It's got to go. And I know there are people watching this show right now who rely on a Social Security check, right? I know old people get that Social Security check, and they have a reasonable expectation. And this is what they're saying. That's not an entitlement. It's not a welfare check. It's my money. I paid into that system, and I want my money. That's my money. Yeah, except here's the thing. You paid into that system, and you're getting your Social Security check. Except you're not getting your money. Somebody else already spent your money. Your money was gone before you were old enough to collect. No. You're spending my money. And here's the real bitch. When my kids start working, they're going to be putting in the money that should be the money I'm spending, because it's a Ponzi scheme. Except by the time I collect, by the time I'm eligible to start collecting Social Security, at, hell, to pay, by the time I get there, I might have to be 70 before I can collect, if it's even there. It won't be there. Everyone out there who's making that argument, well, it's my money, I paid in, I should get my money. I agree, you should get your money. And so should I. Except you're getting yours, and I'm not going to get mine. And then my kids are going to be expected to pay in, and they're never going to see it. Right? At the rate we're going right now, the best we can hope for is that it collapses so spectacularly that my grandchildren are the last generation to be robbed by this excruciating Ponzi scheme we call the Social Security Administration, right? So here's how it went down. For the longest time, once we had unions in this country, we started running pension plans, right? So you got a small company, can't afford to compete with bigger companies on wages, but they got to compete somehow. So enter the private pension plan. Okay, look. I can't pay you I can't pay you what you want me to pay you right now, but if you work for me for 30 years, in 30 years, this business will be so damn big that I can just pay you for the rest of your life. Awesome. And then some government big brain had the good idea fairy come and squeak in his ear and say, hey, everybody deserves to have a pension, whether they work or not. Whoa, 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 whoa. Okay. You gotta show that you've worked X amount to receive X amount of benefit. Okay, cool. But instead of getting a retirement plan that pays you 60 or 80% of what your best 2 years of working were, we went from a defined benefit plan to a defined contribution scheme. A defined contribution scheme is you put in X and you get some money back. Except the average Social Security payout in this country is, it was either 1977 or 1799. It's less than $2,000 a month. Okay. If you've done everything right, you live in a paid-off house, you own a paid-off car, and you don't ever plan on doing any traveling or having any fun, maybe you can do it on $2,000 a month. Yeah, you can do it on $2,000 a month. Maybe. I mean, in this economy, that's that ought to cover groceries for one person, right? You can get some ice cream and cookies in that bill. But for real, $24,000 a year? $24,000 a year. If you had just put the same amount of money into almost any stock, hell, just put it in the Dow. Put it in the Dow. You'd be looking at 3 to 4 times the return on investment. Social Security is not just bankrupting the country. It was designed from the ground up to bankrupt the American people, to eliminate the pension, right? Yeah, I mean, you can still get a pension. You can get a government pension. You retire from the Army or from the post office or the Senate or the House, right? And there are still some big, Sergeant Major says, I also pay income tax on my SSA. Yeah, that's asinine. Yeah, Sergeant Major, you know why you and I had to pay income tax when we were soldiers getting paid directly out of the tax pool? Because Democrats 60, 70 years ago tried to make the argument that, hey, soldiers don't pay taxes because they're paid out of the tax pool. And since they don't pay taxes, they shouldn't get to vote. And so the solution was, whoa. No. I tell you what, go ahead and tax my tax money. Yeah, deduct my income tax from the money that was deducted from everybody else's income taxes. Yeah, be controversial. You just learned something interesting. That's why government employees pay income taxes. It doesn't make sense for a government employee to pay income taxes given that they're paid out of the tax pool directly. They pay income taxes because a bunch of Democrats, dozens and dozens of years ago realized that, oh shit, people who swear an oath to uphold and defend the Constitution tend to vote conservative. They don't want they don't want us to make everything lame and gay. So we're just going to say you can't vote unless you pay taxes. And we said, okay, fine. we'll pay taxes. I mean, on what? It's taxes. But yeah. So there you go. Fiscal illiteracy. The same Dems that want you to believe that tariffs are tantamount to a national sales tax, they want you, they assume that you're going to be too stupid to understand that when they're demanding that we raise all corporate taxes, that means raising the price of all goods. Right? Even if it did work the way they say it does, where, well, all foreign goods are going to have their prices increased. Okay, cool. So all the foreign goods go up in price. All the foreign goods. But if you increase corporate taxes in America, that means that all those foreign goods, they come into an American importer-exporter company who just had his corporate taxes increased. Just like McDonald's and Walmart, where you've got Chinese goods being taxed at the border as they come in through an import-export company, and then the taxes on the retailer have also been increased. So a tariff, at worst, is a tax at one point. An increased corporate tax is an increase in the cost at the port of entry, at the manufacturer, at the primary resource producer, at the retailer, at the marketeer, at the sales level. It is an increase everywhere that money changes hands or product moves from one facility to another. An increased corporate tax increases the price to the consumer. More than half of the price of every item you buy is tax being collected along the line until the product gets in your hand. And then you pay the sales tax with money that has already been taxed just for you to have it in your hand. Your buying power has been stripped. So, speaking of people who should get the rope, we've got this story. Wait, I've got a couple of stories that are about the same two stories. So let me go. Yeah, let's go with this one because there's protesters. Yeehaw! Protesters chant after arrest of judge accused of helping man evade immigration authorities. Accused of helping man evade immigration authorities. Okay, this one's pretty cut and dry, guys. Okay, so let me read you the story, and then we'll talk about what actually happened. This one's from AP News. Protesters chanted, a company which, by the way, is no longer funded by USAID. Thank you, Elon Musk. Protesters chanted and marched on Saturday outside the FBI after agents arrested a Milwaukee judge accused of helping a man evade immigration authorities. The case has escalated a clash between the Trump administration and local authorities over the Republican president's sweeping immigration crackdown. Okay. Let me do this. Let's do this about that. Let's go to X. And judges. Let's see what they're saying on X about judges being arrested. Okay, so right up front here, you got Nick Sorter. A photo has just been released of the FBI arresting corrupt activist judge Hannah Dugan. 77 million Americans voted for this. Hell yeah, I voted for this. Yeah, there's a good one. When Trump was arrested, they said nobody is above the law. Now, when it's a judge being arrested for breaking the law, they say you can't do that because it goes against the norms. Right? Sociopaths. Yeah, so they definitely need to go and arrest nipple Judge Engeron here. Breaking, disgraced Judge Juan Cano and his wife have been officially arrested by federal authorities after knowingly harbored a TDA gang member at their home. Yeah, this is the other judge that was arrested. Oh, this is all the conservative guys. I was wanting to see the nut job liberals who were saying do. This is all very positive coverage. I saw. Well, damn, they refreshed it and it all got away. That's rock solid right there. Okay. AC. Hell yeah, brother. What's the best way for me to send this? You know what? I know what the best way for me to send this over to you is. AC coming at you. I sent it to you on X. Yo, there's a firefly dancing around on my desk, and it's pretty hilarious. So, okay, before I lose my train of thought, they did say nobody's above the law, and I saw the libs losing their minds all over the place on X earlier today. This isn't normal. This is just freaking out about the arresting the judges. And need I remind you, that these people, they arrested Donald Trump more than once while he was running for president. And not just on bogus charges, right? Let's not forget the E. Jean Carroll case. They made up new law. They changed the law. They wrote a brand new law explicitly to allow that case to go forward. AC, how you holding up, brother? Uh-oh. There we go. There you are.
I am doing good, my friend. This is the thing about it. I've been trolling X the last couple of days when I found out about this. And it's fun to see what these people actually think about when we go after one of their people.
Well, and with these judges didn't just misbehave. They didn't just break the law a little bit. Like they went above and beyond. So this judge, this Milwaukee chick, Judge, what is it, Dugan? Hannah Dugan. So the immigrant, the hostile foreign invader in question, and I mean, God, look at this bitter bitch. Oh, the hostile foreign invader in question was a returnee. Are you tracking that? He'd been deported before, and he came back. And when ICE showed up to arrest him, he was in court. She was overseeing his case. She was the judge on his case. He was being tried for multiple counts of severe domestic abuse and battery. Mm-hmm. Right, so this is a hostile foreign invader who entered our country illegally twice, has been deported previously, which means he's banned. He's never allowed to come back. And he did. So he didn't just come here illegally. He's not. So you basically got two categories here. You got the guy who comes across the border and he can say, well, man, estoy de los Estados Unidos de México y yo no sé nada de las rules de los Estados Unidos de América. No sé nada. Oh, okay. You don't know the law. You didn't know it was illegal. You're deported. But once you've been deported the first time, somebody has told you in your native language you're not allowed to come here unless you come through a legal port of entry and go through the legal process. And because you screwed this up once, you're not allowed to come back. Now, you can petition to appeal that, et cetera, but as a broad rule, if you get thrown out, you don't get to come back. I don't know how many of you guys, actually I do know because I've got the numbers, but I covered the other day, I talked about the Mexico Te Abraza policy put forward by President Sheinbaum. There's a policy in Mexico now for Mexican aliens being deported by the United States back to Mexico, where basically you get entered into a Mexican welfare program. They put you up in a house, they give you a debit card with some cash on it, a phone, feed you for a little while, and it's apparently it's a short-term program. It's like 90 days or 6 months or something. But the idea is that if those evil Americans, they sent you back to Mexico, and as soon as you revolve all Mexico, well, Mexico te abraza. Mexico embraces you. We welcome you home, brother. Bienvenidos. And you get put into that welfare program. So the Trump administration push right now is for self-deportation. We're trying to incentivize the hostile foreign invaders to just voluntarily pack their shit and quietly sneak back out. And the update to the ICE app, the CBP app, I apologize, the CBP app, Customs Border Patrol, is that it now has a self-reporting feature where if you leave the country voluntarily, you can go into the app and you can say, hey, I left, so I'm not in America anymore. So you can take my name off the docket. I'm not going to be at the court date, et cetera, except here's the thing. If you do that, you didn't actually get deported. You're not eligible for the Mexico Te Abraza policy. And so what we're seeing now is we've got Mexicans approaching American law enforcement and asking to get deported. But here's the hiccup. Part of the incentive that the Trump administration is pushing is if you voluntarily self-deport, if you leave of your own accord, you can apply for reentry. You can attempt to go through the process and come in correctly in the future. But if you get deported, if you get arrested and deported by American law enforcement, that's it. You're out. You're over. You don't get to come back. No more. So,
but the thing about it, and I don't know if you have the story pulled up, but there's been articles coming out about Tren de Agua, who's actually sending them to the United States. Can you take a guess why Trump is calling them a foreign terrorist organization? Do you have any reason?
Oh yeah, that's easy. Tren de Aragua and MS-13 and the various drug cartels, they just straight murder politicians.
No.
Gloria Sheinbaum
Nicolas Maduro has actually sent Tren de Agua to the United States.
Yes.
There's actually court papers saying this. That's why Trump brought out saying Tren de Agua is a foreign terrorist organization. There's reasons behind all of this stuff that a lot of, as most of us will call them, the useful idiots will not look into.
Right. So back to this cat that Judge Dugan was standing up for. So basically, this is a two-time loser. He's been ejected twice. I forget the loser's name. It's a Spanish name, but he's been thrown out of the country twice. Or I'm sorry, he's entered illegally twice. This is about to be his second time being deported. He's in the courtroom being tried for multiple counts of serious assault and battery, domestic abuse, et cetera, et cetera. Just a real winner, this guy. And ICE shows up to arrest him and deport him. And they tell the judge basically, hey, as soon as you guys are done with him, we're taking him and he's getting deported. We've got the judge's we've got an order of deportation, expedited removal, and he's going to be returned to his home country. So this judge dismisses the domestic abuse, assault, and battery charges and escorts the guy out through the back door, through what it is it's the private jury entrance, right? And so escorts this guy out through the private jury entrance, through the back door, because ICE is waiting outside the front door. And then there's a foot chase for 20, 30 minutes where ICE has to chase this guy down and capture him. Like this could not be more clearly aiding and abetting, right? This is standing at the door arguing with the dog and the cops while your drunk Uncle Pookie sneaks out the window and tries to run across the cotton patch.
But my question is, did the judge think Mr. Holman was lying? Mr. Holman, since January 20th, he's been saying they are going to go after these people. Why? Why would you go against what Holman said? He said, because I know what this is about. It's a statement to all these politicians, all these judges that are trying to stop what is happening, what the American people overwhelmingly want to happen. And the thing about it, it's not about them being wrong. Legally, they are in trouble, but it's sending a message. It's that shot across the bow with everything going on.
Oh yeah, and the other one, the former Doña Ana County Magistrate Judge Joel Cano and his wife Nancy Cano were taken into custody Thursday after federal agents raided their Las Cruces home. Right, ex-New Mexico judge and wife arrested for allegedly harboring illegal Tren de Aragua member. Okay, so this is the judge that went on social media and said, and went out of his way to say, I'm keeping one of these guys at my home. He's a member of Tren de Aragua, right? And dude, I don't know how much you're tracking on this one, AC, but this one, it's even better. The hostile foreign invader was living in the judge's guest house and hanging out with the judge's daughter, and they took pictures and video where they went together to the shooting range. And so now the judge is not only being charged for having aided and abetted the hostile foreign invader, but he's a known terrorist, member of a terrorist gang, and the judge is also now on the hook for providing him with an assault weapon. Now, I'm not gonna hash down the argument of what an assault weapon is. That's what the charging documents say, that he was provided with an assault weapon. It was probably an AR-15.
It was
basic bitch 223 or 5.56 rifle. Something like one of those. One of those. Not one of those.
Hey, and I'm not, since I can do this, I am on with you for free. If you do become a Rumble Premium member, you will get to sit down and watch me and Chris talk it up for almost 2 hours about different things. Guys, you need to go over and watch that, because me and him have a lot of fun. So that was another reason why I wanted to come up here. Yeah, I wanted to plug you. I wanted to plug our little interview on Rumble Premium.
And y'all go check out AC's show. He does a solid show. You're live every day at 4, every weekday at 4.
Every weekday at 4.
And randomly on the weekends like me.
Most of the interview, and I set it up.
Hey, tell me, did that interview already happen? Did I miss it?
No, that's tonight. That is tonight. That's at midnight Eastern. So if you're still up, you're more than welcome to come over. There's a man. I'll show you let me bring that one up because I do have.
You're going to make me stay up past midnight?
But yes, I do have an interview.
Hold on a minute. Hey, Sergeant Major, you still watching? What time are we supposed to be at Jen's house tomorrow? How late can I sleep in the morning? Because I don't. Hey, look. This morning, I cut the grass. I built a new gate for my chicken coop, and then went to a birthday party. And I got about a 25-minute nap before I sat down to get ready to do the show. So as long as I don't have to be in flipping Lawrenceville at like 9 in the morning, I could probably hang out.
All right, bring up my. I'm actually showing. I got it up here. No, it's the other one.
Yeah, I just got to switch them. There we go.
And I will go.
There you go.
It says the Angry Conservative interview. The man with Donald J. Trump. You'll have to wait and find out why I said the man with Donald J. Trump. There might be a reason behind that name.
Okay, what about your guy that does all the in the woods?
That was last week. One was last week.
I did miss it.
You did miss that one, yes. Last week I did the interview. Yes, 1,200. Oh, he's saying noon.
Yeah.
He's saying noon.
Oh.
But yes, that's over on Rumble Pre.
Hey, Sergeant Major. Hold on. Hey, Sergeant Major. Tell my mother to text me the address so I can see how much drive time I need. I think it's about an hour and a half.
But yes, the man that went out in the woods last night, he was on last Saturday. So that is up on Rumble Premium. You guys get to meet. If you have Rumble Premium, you guys get to meet my researcher, the woman that makes me look good with all the breaking news. So you guys get to learn from her. But yeah, there is so much going on.
Excellent. All right, brother. So what else? Okay, so yeah, the New Mexico. So let me do this real quick. We almost hit 30, and then we dropped back down. So I need you guys to share. Got to hit 30 before.
Yes, get us to get get this man to 30
on
because
Rumble or 10:30. At 10:30, if I haven't seen 30 viewers on Rumble, I'm going to do 5 more subs for free and call it a night.
And the thing about it, I love that I can send people because he came into which one was it, the Daily Show or was it Happy Hour? Which one did you drop in yesterday when you were we all try to support each other. That's what it's all about.
Yeah, I was doing uploads. So I most of you guys have heard me talk about this. I do real estate photography. So last night I sat down to upload to send the files off to the clients and get paid for the photos that I shot yesterday. And I dropped in on AC's happy hour while I was doing my uploads. AC, I'll tell you a funny story about yesterday. I had 2.5 hours. Okay, so we're spending 5 hours on the road tomorrow. and I don't get to invoice anybody for those miles. Okay. So that's fine. Oh, Dan, broke my tray. Oh, okay. So yesterday, there is this restaurant called Buckner's, and it's freaking awesome. Now, AC, you're in Alabama.
I am.
So
I'm not too. I don't know if you've ever heard of this lake, but I'm not too far from Lake Eufaula.
okay, gotcha. Well,
So
I'm gonna pull up some pictures of Buckner's real quick. Oh, they got a little drone video going on there. Good. I want to see the table. I bet you I could pull them up on Instagram and they'll be pretty. Okay, so Buckner's restaurant, y'all. If you don't know Buckner's, you need to go down there. I want to see the tables. So the when you go to Buckner's, that's the best one I see so far. They sit you down at a big round table, right? And there's a lazy Susan in the middle of the table, so it's kind of like it's kind of like a buffet, and the waitress will keep coming out and reloading the dishes on the table. So it's kind of like a buffet, but it's on the table in front of you. They got a lazy Susan, and you sit there and spin it around, right? And they serve everything family style. And they have the best fried chicken on the damn planet, my man. I mean, the best fried. I mean, I don't go to Buckner's often. I mean, for one, it's a long drive from where I am, and it was a long drive from where I lived before. I've never lived less than an hour and a half away from Buckner's, I don't think. And so it's something that, okay, it's a special thing, if you happen to be nearby, whatever. Yesterday, I had a shoot that was on Buck Snort Road in Jackson, Georgia. And that's where Buckner's is. It, like, the address of the house I was going to was like, that they were only like maybe a dozen numbers between the two addresses. So yeah, I'm not going to give out the address of the house I was going to shoot yesterday, but it was going to be my last photo shoot of the day yesterday, and I was going from McDonough down to Jackson for that shoot, and the GPS said I was going to be at the shoot at like 1:45, and the shoot was at 3, and it's literally a mile and a half from the restaurant. Hell yeah, I'm going to Buckner's. And this was the first time I've ever gone in there by myself, and I kind of knew what the deal was if you go there like that. But every time I've gone there before, I've gone there with a large party, right? Like my mom and my dad and my wife and all my kids. And buddy, that's a party. That's 8 people, right? And we've always gone like that. So yesterday was my first time ever going in there by myself. And so what happens, you go in there by yourself, and they'll just plop you down at a table with strangers.
But that's the fun of it, though.
They'll take you to a table with people you've never met and just stick you down there, and you make some new friends. And I sat down with a couple a little bit older than me, probably right around my dad's age, and nice couple. The old man was retired Air Force. The old lady was a hairdresser, and y'all, they held hands, and she reached out for my hand. She reached out for me, and I reached out and held her hand and said the blessing with them. And then she told me her story. They're driving from Macon up to Atlanta because she's got to go to Emory because she's got breast cancer and she's going to get treatment. Aaron asked to support Donald Trump. It didn't come up, but I tell you what, I haven't met a whole lot of decent Bible believing Christians that voted the other way, right?
You can't. Can you really vote the other way? The way things are playing out right now.
I actually do know a few people who are theoretically devout Christians who are also raving lunatic Democrats. And I don't know how you square that circle. I mean, Joe Biden said he was Catholic, but he was, pro unlimited free government funded abortion. So, I mean, are you actually a Catholic? That's
my I've asked a question and did a little pop-up video on YouTube. And I want people's thoughts. So go over to my YouTube and you'll see me ask a question. Should a woman, and you guys don't have to answer this, should a woman that's a pregnant woman be charged with a crime if she uses drugs or alcohol and something happens?
And that's a tough one.
It's a thought experiment. And I love doing these little thought experiments with people.
The answer is yes. The answer is yes. I mean, if you knowingly take an action to cause the death of a human being, if you knowingly and intentionally take an action to cause the death of a human being, that's murder. If you unintentionally, through reckless behavior, cause the death of another human being, that is gross negligence. So the answer is yes, legally. Like I've said many times before, we don't need to ban abortion in this country. We don't. We just don't. It's not complicated. Murder is already a crime. Charging.
And that's the thing. But the thought experiment isn't for us. We have that. That thought experiment is for someone that might be on the other side, because I've had people tell me, and I won't say names, and they're not even online. I bring that up. I brought this up to people that I love, and they will say, yes, she should be charged because she's hurting that child. And I'm like, how can you square that with what you believe in? And they're like, oh.
The pro-abortion advocates will also argue that if you murder a pregnant woman, you should be charged with 2 crimes. You should be charged with 2 crimes of murder. And it's like, why? I mean, if you think it's just a clump of cells, then your worldview is incoherent.
Very true. But yeah, it's interesting to think about that. Have that little thought experiment.
Indeed. So, oh man, I shouldn't have pulled up Buckner's flipping.
You're hungry now, ain't ya? You're hungry now.
Their food is so good.
Aaron, because they can't square the two things. And I know where I stand. I know what the Bible tells me. It's better to have a millstone around a person's neck than to hurt one of the little children. Just saying, I know the Bible.
Yeah. Okay, guys, let me do this one more time. I want you guys, well, there ain't a lot of you watching on other platforms. I see a lot of you have already moved over to Rumble, and I appreciate that. But if you haven't already, I'm gonna drop it again. If you're still watching on YouTube, click or Facebook or anywhere else, click the link, go over to Rumble, hit that like button right there, boom boom, and then click that button right there to register. And I don't want to show you that. That's not the page that should take you to. Because I'm signed in right now because we're live. So
yeah, you do not want people. Yeah, that like with me, I know I watch my numbers. Yeah,
that doesn't show any. Excuse me, that doesn't show any of the flipping sensitive information.
No, and
that even the earnings,
the dashboard that they've set up on Rumble, I like it because they don't know what the address is and all of that. All they see is our numbers and how well we're doing with watch hours and studio time and all that, because I already have enough have my watch hours. I have enough for my for the premium stuff, which I might decide to let the one that I'm doing tonight, the one with Donald J. Trump, the man with Donald J. Trump, I might actually leave that like you're doing, leave it for free. Let people.
Yeah, and I don't mind sharing this bit. There's the creator program board. You can see there. I still need to get, as of and this is before this show, so this is plus, that'll be plus whatever we do tonight. Toward the 30 hours. That's too easy, but I've already blasted through the watch hours and the exclusive required hours, so we're good to go there.
I'm at 5.1. So I'm right above. So I can actually give it for free. Am I going to? I don't know yet, because the man that I'm doing this with is in a wheelchair, has a scooter, and you will have to come over to find out why I said the man with Donald J. Trump. And there is a hint within the thumbnail of why I said that.
All right. Well, I tell you what, I am out of coffee. So here's what I'm going to do. We never hit the 30, so I'm not going to give away 25 subs. I'm going to give away one more freebie tonight. So let's see who gets it. Y'all ready to roll the dice?
Let's roll it. Aaron.
All right, Aaron.
But, hey, the one thing that I did find out, the subscription that someone got, she's got a free month.
Good. We'll have
but
to work
we'll
on
talk
that.
about that more on the back end of all this, because it is funny how sometimes that works because of people when people chat. I think the reason I say this, what I think happens is the last message. One of the last messages on the actual stream before it goes and puts it out. But Aaron's already got Rumble Premium.
That's rock solid. Well, and this is a membership. That's a subscription to the channel.
Yeah.
Right.
Which can also be used for a free membership on Rumble.
I believe
Rumble
it comes
Premium.
with a free month of premium. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think.
It does.
Okay.
It does, because you have to go in the back door and do some things, but it does give you a free month of Rumble Premium. Which is kind of nice for the people that don't have it. People can come and go. But yes, guys, go check out all the ones that I've done this month, all the interviews. Now your dad got one. Aaron gave a free membership, so your dad gets one. So, but yeah. But I also found another hack to help with if people can't do something on Rumble. If we would just do Rumble for a moment before we actually leave.
Oh, you want to switch over to Rumble Premium?
No, not even Premium. We don't even have to go to Premium. Just take all the other ones off. The YouTube, the Twitch, and Facebook, and X. And there goes Mr. Chris.
I hit the wrong button. I got kicked off my own show.
You did. What the heck? But I'm going to give a little hack because of me actually doing this. If you guys actually go and you pay for the yearly subscription, if you put studio in there, it still works. You get $10 off.
Yes.
If you use that code, you will get the $10 off of them for that 1 year subscription. So there's a little hack to all this.
And I think if you use the referral code, no, I don't want to say that because I'm not sure about that. Let me, you know what? I'm going to ask the chat. Does my referral URL give a discount? Probably help if I spelled referral right.
You did pick up another follower tonight.
Oh, yeah.
And that's what it's all about. I love trying to help other people because it is a lot of fun to.
How about just referral URL?
Yeah.
Sorry, we got dead air now. I was trying to learn something for you.
Yeah, that I don't.
Okay, if you use my referral code, I get a 5% commission. I'll have to see about. So, yeah, what he was just saying, what AC was just saying about using the code studio. So use my referral link or AC's referral link to set up your membership or your free account.
What with the referral codes. When you use his, mine, or any other creator on Rumble, you guys actually benefit us. We get a little bit of that money. So if, like with me, if you go and use Angry Conservative 1981, register Angry Conservative 1981, I get a little bit of that money. Rumble gives me. And that's the way it actually works out. You
know what I want to see, AC? I want to see a breakdown because, like, right now, I understand that it's the number of new subs, the number of total subs, the number of views, watch hours. Views and watch hours are not the same thing, by the way. The amount of content you produce, like, those are the individual factors. I'd like to see a breakdown of how they do the math to figure out what we earn.
I would love to see that too, and at some point, Rumble will probably give that to just us as creators in the program, because the one thing that got me surprised was when this new month, since we've been in it for a month, them adding them watch hours. There's 200. But for me, because of how much I actually, with everything that I do, them 200 watch hours is not affected. It will never affect me. Do you know how many watch hours I have right now?
No clue.
Almost 1,500 watch hours, and the month's not even over. Because of all the hearings, all that watch time goes into what I. So yeah.
I'm not quite at that many watch hours, but I am.
You're
I'm
over
well
the 200
what I need.
I'm
well over the 200 minimum.
Yeah, I looked at it and I was like, dang. the other day.
Yeah, and the fact that the watch hours were added, I didn't get any. There was no notification. It was just like all of a sudden, oh, by the way, there's this whole other bar you got to fill up. Okay,
I think for most of us, because we're on this at least 5 days a week, if not more, them watch hours are not all that hard to do.
Right. All right, guys. I've had about all I can take for tonight. I'm gonna give away one more sub.
Watch it. I want to see. Let's see who gets it.
Let's see who gets it.
Who gets it?
I'm hoping for Megan.
Yes, she did.
Yeah.
Nicely done. Nicely done, young man. I mean, that's congrats, Megan. This is what it's actually about. We get to have a little bit of fun. You'll have to thank Grumble for whatever the mechanism actually is. But I will say this. Once I have a little bit more, I'm going to do something that will be on Rumble only. It won't be on YouTube or anywhere else. If you are subscribed to my channel, I'm actually going to do, because I have a program that will do this, where I will give out free memberships or help people pay for memberships within like a lottery, like a spin of the wheel. I have stuff.
And hey, now, I mean, with the creator program paying some of the bills, it's not going to be long before we start giving away merch on this show. Because, well, okay, so here, let's do this before we call it a night. AC, have you seen the merch store?
I have seen your merch store. I was here one night when you were showing it. When you were showing it to all of us. When you did a Rumble Premium how you set everything up. So yes,
yeah. So this is brushfiremind.com, and I haven't done much with it in a while. But
Chris,
basically you can go here, you can go to the merch store, you can get to the Buy Me a Coffee link, and you can contact us at the show. So, and then when you pop over to the merch store, no, I don't want to spend for a chance to win. Go away.
The X is up on top.
There you go. So we've got these T-shirts. I don't remember if it was Be Controversial or I think it was Aaron Olson that said in the comments, if you give them an inch, 1 million people will die. The communist thing.
I remember that one.
And so I just slapped this T-shirt together live on air. I hope some of you guys pick this one up. That's a good looking T-shirt.
But you know who you need to add one person to that. You need to put Mr. Alinsky on there. You need to put Sal Alinsky on it.
Oh yeah.
That's what people don't understand. I love that Donald Trump's using their own playbook against them.
Yes. Be Controversial says, awesome, and not me. I won't steal that credit. Okay, so it was Aaron that said it. It was Aaron Olson.
It was Aaron.
Yeah.
But okay. Yes. But all right, guys, you guys, if you guys are up tonight at midnight Eastern, I am doing an interview. It might stay on Rumble, free Rumble. Might get 15 to a half hour on YouTube, but it might stay free tonight. I haven't decided yet. I got a little bit of time to think about it. But there is one question that I've asked everybody at the very end of every one of them. Chris did it. Everyone that I've interviewed. And that one question is, why do you do it? Why do you stream what you stream? I will continue that legacy with every one of them. So they got the answer to that for the last one. And for everybody else, if you're in chat when we're on Rumble, you can ask questions. The audience is allowed to ask questions.
Aaron asks if I can put my designs on a coaster. I don't know. And Aaron, I just learned earlier today that Rumble has a back-end connection with stickermule.com. So I'm going to be studying up and looking at that in the near future. Probably tomorrow evening I'll take a look at it, and I might just go ahead and migrate our merch store over to Sticker Mule if the figures are speaking to me. So that may change some of the math. So I'll let y'all know if when the store gets updated. And I'm going to push the merch store a little bit harder. I want to see BFM t-shirts and stickers and car magnets out there. I'm having a blast, and I want you guys to enjoy it. And I want to try and give you guys every opportunity you can to support the show. So, but with that, AC, I'm going to let you go, brother, because I know you got a show to go get ready for. Thanks for dropping in. Brother, I'll try to make it. I'll try to make it to midnight.
Hey, I that's not a problem, but get with me if you want some help on your website, because I'll send you a link and I'll show you mine, because I've made it myself, and I can actually
Whoa. You know, if I put Cameron on a waifu pillow, I could retire just selling that to Z Cheeseburger.
but if you want help with your website, I will be more than willing to help you with that, because there's things that I don't say online, but there's a lot of things that I know. So contact me. We might be able to work on something where I can work on the website and you can get.
Yeah, we'll get on the phone offline later, brother.
All right, later,
all right.
Later,
Thanks
everybody.
for joining us tonight. Good night, brother. All right, guys, and for the rest of y'all, thanks so much for watching tonight. Congratulations to those of you who got one of the free shows, one of the free subscriptions. And we're going to be doing that, guys. I mean, that's something we're going to be doing, is giving away free subscriptions, because people click on the button when it says free money. So we'll keep that going. I mean, I'm not going to do it every night. They're not free, but I'm going to be handing them out and doing that. So yeah, the subscription lottery is going to be a fun new game we're playing. And I'll set some earmarks, like, every time we get more than 1,000 people watching live at one time, I'll give away 25 free subscriptions. That's too easy. So with that, guys, I'm going to go ahead and put a pin in it. Thanks for watching tonight. We love you, and we will see you on Monday. I'm taking the day off tomorrow.